to start talking now. So, I'm going to explain some things because I'm sure a lot of you have seen in the past 2 days I've been very upset over my little Smudgy. Here she is, my little puppy dog. She's been, and I'm going to explain the full story because I haven't been able to say the full story and I haven't been given the green light to say the full story, but literally it's the full, very sad story behind what exactly happened to her. That me very much, not just what people will do to make money. Anyways, sorry if I'm looking down, it's because Smudge is down here and I'm still very worried about her, but she's fine. Anyways, so as I'm sure you guys know, there's a breeder that I got Angel from. And if you guys know the name, feel free to comment it because that is pretty much the topic of this broadcast. So I got Angel. Angel's been fine. I know, Smudge, you're okay. Angel was fine. Sorry if my voice is shaky, by the way. I'm really nervous talking about this because, I don't like, putting down other people, but what happened to her is just not right, and it shouldn't happen to anyone. So I just wanted to give you guys a warning. So when I got Angel, my manager received an email to his email about Angel and the breeder, and he said, basically, actually, hold on, I have the email. I have all of my evidence because I thought it was important for me to explain this. So, the email consisted of, actually it's on my mom's phone, never mind, but basically the email was warning us about the breeder, saying, Smudge, chill out. Basically, the email was about the breeder, saying don't trust them, it's bad news, there's a lot of things that are fishy with them, be careful. Which, Angel was fine, so I was like, whatever, I kind of gave the breeder the benefit of the doubt because we had already gotten one healthy puppy from them. Fast forward, I decided to get another dog because Angel needed a friend, so of course I went back to the same breeder because we had an okay experience. Despite the fact that they had always delivered the dogs late, they would give a date and then they would, sorry, I'm out of breath. They would give a date and then they would push that date and keep pushing it. Like Angel, I think they pushed the date 3 times. And if you guys remember, I got her way later than I was supposed to. So with Smudge, the same thing happened. They changed the date and I was like, okay. And I did pay less for the dog because I was going to tag them, which I'm sure you guys know, and dogs are expensive, especially those dogs. So I got a discount, I guess, but it was still, I still paid quite a bit of money for her. It was no excuse. Anyway, so I got the dog, and right away I noticed that she was kind of lethargic. If you guys don't know what that means, it means she didn't have a lot of energy. And she started vomiting. And I didn't really think anything of it. I thought it was the fact that whatever we were feeding her. So I stopped feeding her. I tried to fix it. She started getting this look in her eyes like she was not doing well. And you just know when, a being is not doing well. Are you holding a rat? No, this is a dog. So we took her to the vet, and she tested positive for parvo. If you don't know what parvovirus is, it's a virus that is common in puppies if they're not vaccinated properly, which all the dogs are supposed to be properly vaccinated before they're sent out. And these dogs get sent from Russia, and I'll get into that. So, she tested positive for the virus, and when a puppy like her, of her size, gets the virus, normally there's not a very likely chance that they'll survive because it happens so quick. So that's why I was so upset, because when I found out, sorry, I'm getting choked up because it was such a sad day. When I found out that she tested positive, and I've only had her for 6 days, which means she came in contact with the disease before she was ever sent to me, so it was nothing that I did. She had the disease before she was even sent out, and she probably wasn't properly vaccinated. So she was not doing well. They had to say her goodbyes. I don't think that they even thought she was going to make it. So, anyways, so they said she had to be hospitalized for 3 days, and we said goodbye, and and it was so sad. She was laying on the table, and she was completely limp, and just not really moving much. She just was not good. If you guys saw on my story, then you'd know. But I didn't know that's what it was at the time until they told us, obviously, and then I was devastated because they had explained what it was and the chances of her actually surviving. And of course, it broke my heart because even though I've only had her for a week, having dogs is like having children. Like, I got so attached immediately, and I love animals. So it was hard for me to see that. But anyways, so then they took her back, and luckily it was like a really rare thing. They'd never seen anything like it. She was recovering so quickly. They're like, she's eating, she's drinking, she's perking up. Like, we got all her levels balances. She was hooked up to IVs. So that's why her little paws are shaved now, if you guys see that, because they had to put the catheters in. So she has little shaved spots all over her. So, she's alive, she's fine right now. We're just keeping a close eye on her to make sure that she doesn't come back. But anyways, back to the story about the breeder. Basically, I then messaged the woman who had earlier warned my manager, had emailed my manager and warned him about the breeder. So I texted her, and I have my evidence. Here it comes. I texted her, and I said, hi, I'm Loren Gray. You'd warned my manager via email about the breeder where I received my dogs from. She said, yeah, it was me. Is Angel okay? I said, I got a new puppy from them. She wasn't doing so well, so we brought her to the vet. She tested positive for parvovirus. She said, OMG, I'm so sorry to hear that. How is the puppy? She does this all the time. She said, look at this. So this is a dog this is someone who had made an account trying to spread awareness about the breeder, which obviously I'd never heard of. So this was somebody else's dog that they had gotten from the breeder that also had parvovirus. And if you guys are squeamish, look away because this is really sad. I'm trying not to cry right now just looking at it because, like I said, I love animals, so it was really hard for me to see this and see that this could possibly have been my dog. But this, like I said, look away if you are squeamish, but this was the dog. It spent 2 days at the emergency animal hospital and died 2 days later. So that's what happens, and apparently that's what happens with quite a few of their dogs because they're buying the dogs up all over Russia and sending them off as quickly as they can, and they're getting fake passports and lying about the dogs' ages, sending them out when they're too young, and just trying to make money instead of getting the animals properly vaccinated and the proper documentation and waiting until they're old enough. Like, Smudge still has her baby teeth. Like, she's definitely not 5 months old. We don't even actually know how old our dogs really are because it was all lies. And then she said, whatever. Yeah, she was just explaining more about parvovirus. And then this woman said she was actually, never mind, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to throw her under the bus. So I had the positive test. So the dog was sick. I mean, my dad works with animals, and my dad was like, that dog is sick. And definitely has the virus. And they were in denial. They told me that it was my fault for changing the dog's food, which when I spoke to the vet was not the case, and they told me that the vet was lying to me, and that it was my fault, basically, that the dog was essentially dying. But Smudge is okay now. She's doing all right. I just wanted to say that I'm sad that I ever supported these people, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I should have listened. And if you guys were thinking about getting dogs from the people that I got dogs from, don't do it. I don't recommend it. I know this sounds like it's nothing because it's a dog, but if you have a pet, you know that seeing like an animal in that state is so awful, and it was probably like one of the worst things. I had another pet who had passed away when she was older, but I never saw it, and seeing her laying on that table was probably the worst thing ever, and the fact that it's happening to so many people just makes me so sad, and I don't want to see it happening anymore. So, and I know I have a voice, and I just wanted to say something, because I just don't think it's right for innocent animals and innocent people to be going through this, and just because they want to make money. So, like I said, if you guys know, so if you guys know, you can comment that at so other people know.